Hello. As you may probably know, I like lockpicking, and I have quite a collection of locks and also handcuffs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a modification that you can make to a pair of real regulation handcuffs, whether they're American or British. A modification you can make so that you can either experiment with picking while you have them on, with the added safety that you can pull them open if you fail, or perhaps you could use them as a prop so that they can be easily yanked off in case of emergency. Maybe people doing the Halloween thing, or cosplay or something, so they can have something that's real, but at the same time they just pull open like that. These are actually genuine American cuffs by the Peerless company. So I'm going to show you how to do this for whatever your purpose is for it. I'm going to explain it to you. On the single strand here, the arm that rotates, you've got teeth, and the reason why the cuff can actually close is you can see there's kind of like a slanted angle on this side that kind of goes up at a nice smooth angle, but then it abruptly stops. So if we get a bit of a zoom in on this, you can see it's nice and smooth that way, and then all the way down completely flat. You see that? At that kind of angle, if I can show you. You see, perfect. See, it goes up sliding along, and then bang, goes all the way down. So what the goal is, you need to, instead of it being a complete drop right here, you need to either file or use a rotary tool, as I will show you here, to be able to make this side right here kind of sloped at an angle like this. So that it'll be sloped going up and it will be sloped going down, so therefore it can go both ways on the ratchet. It can go this way or it can go that way. So if I show you with these, here's my modified pair, and you can see, if I get a bit of a better quality zoom in, there we go, it goes up and then it goes down an angle as well, like that, and it goes up again and then down at an angle. Hopefully you can see that. See, because it's kind of like an upside down V. See? So whenever you do this kind of thing, make sure you engage safety squints and put some glasses on. And for this, I'm going to use a basic rotary tool that I've had to kind of do some repairs on. So this is probably going to get loud, but I hold it like this. Let me get a bit of distance here from the camera. Alright, so I hold it like this because I've got the flat part then dropping straight down. So what I want to do is come at an angle, kind of like this. Hopefully you can see that, at an angle. So it'll smooth out this immediate drop down and it will become like a slope up. So let's have a little look. Now I'll show you before and after. So, alright, so on one click, it will not pull open. Even on just that one click. One click, won't pull open. And you have to do this one tooth at a time and test it throughout. Let's have a look at that, see if that's done it. One click, pulls open. One click, pulls open. So now if we have a look at the first tooth, if I zoom in here, now you can see, hopefully, that you've got the slope that rises up gradually on this right side, but now you've also got a slope on the left side which gradually rises up like this. You see that? So now, once you've tested this one a few times, you know it's working. Now what you do is you go on to the next tooth. Being careful of your fingers, of course. Let's see if that was enough. Sometimes you have to do it a few times. 1, that still opens. 2, that one's not opening. Needs a bit more salt. No idea. Okay, that's looking better. Let's see if it's enough to open. 1 click, opens. 2 clicks, opens. 2, open. Now what I recommend you also do is test them individually if you can, by kind of like limiting the number of clicks you're pulling out. Don't just yank them all open. Test them each individually. So 1, that works. 1, that works. 1, 2, and then pull it out one at a time. 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. Because you want to make sure that each individual tooth is successfully able to be pulled open by itself. Because it's possible that you might do it, but not quite good enough. But because of the force of yanking them out all at once, it might open successfully, you know, completely. Like, for example, if we look here at this one, this is fully gimmicked. That's the name of the process that we're doing here. So I can actually just pull these backwards like this in the wrong direction. But if one of these teeth wasn't quite perfect, it might get that one, that one, that one, but this one might stick perhaps. But because it had the momentum of all the others being pulled, it would have gone through. But if you were in that position at that particular click and it wasn't tested properly, then you might not be able to pull it open. So the key is make sure you test each individual one, and then you put like a rotation force. You don't just pull down, you kind of roll your wrist in the direction that the bow would come out, kind of like this. So you would then do this. And I recommend that when you do this, you kind of choke your wrist up to like use up as much room as you can, like that, because that'll make it easier so that you can put force on it. Because if there's too much of a gap like this, you kind of like having to move your wrist around. Whereas when you kind of choke up on it and you're using up the room like this, makes it easier to just roll your wrist open. So this is an American pair that I did. These that I was just demonstrating on are a cheap pair of, like, I don't know, Chinese or Taiwan or something. They don't even have a groove here. They're really cheap, but good enough just for me to demonstrate on. You take these glasses off. This is a pair of British police, ex-police handcuffs, still currently in use today. This is just an ex-police model. This is the TCH Model 840, and I've done the same thing to these. Although I did this with a file, and it took absolutely ages with a needle file. If I try and get a bit of a zoom in on that, you can see you've got a nice little jagged pattern there, and so you can close them, but you can open them. Now what I did on this pair is I also put epoxy in the double lock, so you can't just easily jab a key in there. I don't have a key down here at the moment, just so that if they were to be borrowed for used, like for, I don't know, someone's costume or something, then somebody couldn't just quickly go by and jab a key in there and then get the person stuck. See, I have only done it on this pair. So that's on and that's off. So there's another weird case where, and I can't really show you because I haven't got a key down here to be able to show you this, but these are also gimmicked. However, if we look at the teeth here, you'll see they don't appear to be gimmicked. You've got a nice slope up here, but then an immediate drop. However, they also are gimmicked. So what I did here is ASP handcuffs can have the locks removed. So you dig a key bit in there and kind of tease it out a little bit. Use a tool to like pull this in the innards out. And I actually just used the rotary tool and modified the teeth on the pulls themselves. You might not be able to see, but I modified those teeth. So therefore, if I really wanted to, I could get these particular outer model of handcuffs, I could get them properly working again, fully secure, by just pulling this lock out and replacing it with a non-modified lock. These are a bit stiffer, but they still work just the same. So there you go. By doing that little technique, and it's pretty easy. You've seen me just do 2 teeth, just with a rotary tool with a little cut-off disc. This is a diamond wheel. It doesn't take long, and then you'll end up with something that you can safely experiment with picking, knowing that you've got the added safety. Like if you've got them on like that, and you're like, oh dear, the keyholes are on the wrong side. How do I use the key? Well, not a problem. So there you go. Please like, subscribe, and I will see you on whatever the next video happens to be on. Thank you.